Hey there viewers, and welcome back to another episode of Grumpy Monkey Garage, where today we are doing part 3 of the Chevrolet K1500 restoration. And I brought my engine goblin along because we're going to fix a few things on this thing that are under the dash that I don't fit under. So we're just going to have her fix those things. We're also going to fix the mirror because I can't see it to back it out of where we have it. And as you can see from some footage here, it's kind of playing Tetris to get these projects around. So hopefully you guys subscribe because it'll help pay for all these cars that I really don't need. And hopefully you like the content, so that makes it a little bit easier. So we're going to start with the mirror, the underdash switch, or the fuel filter. What do you want to start with?
The mirror.
The mirror? All right. Visibility is important. So we're going to start with this mirror replacement. Let's get started. All right, so this mirror here, it's been deleted on, and that was before I got it. I didn't do this. So I went to the junkyard and got me a brand used one, so that's good. And now we're gonna have her show you how to put it on. And these really aren't that bad because this is not a Ford, so.
Yeah, you just, they were nice enough to give you a separate plastic panel right here, so we're just gonna
try really hard not to break ancient plastic.
Yeah, there you go. And there's a little doohickey right here you pull out, and you got 3 bolts, 10 millimeters.
Well,
and there's a connector in here too.
Well, let's go get you some 10 millimeters and get this thing swapped over. It'll be a 5-minute fix.
All right, so we got the old one out. Ooh, I wasn't doing much. But yeah, it's kind of difficult unless you have small hands like me. That hole is kind of small. But you gotta do what you gotta do. If you have too big of hands, you might have to take the rest of the door panel off, but it's relatively simple.
All right, so we got a mirror in. So the next thing is, since it's a fancy power mirror, we're gonna test if it works. So we're gonna set the little switch here to left mode because it's the left mirror, and we're gonna turn the key on. Well, that's what I get for buying a junkyard one. So, yep, I'll just adjust that by hand. You know, that'll be good. So next, what are we fixing next? The brake switch. Let me just ignore the horrifying door noises that are fine.
I was gonna do the fuel filter.
Fuel filter next? An excellent plan. It's like 9 million degrees. You want to set up the canopy?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go steal that. We're gonna put up a, shade. We're gonna change the fuel filter so that we're not sucking up dinosaur juices from the gas tank. Let's do that. Shade first. Let's go get that. So our second project is the fuel filter. So I've bought the cheapest one you could find. That's how you know it's good. This is just supposed to catch all the debris coming from the fuel tank, because remember, it was like really, really old and it sat for a really long time. There's a bunch of shit floating in there, I imagine. So we're gonna put this fuel filter in line so that as the fuel is pumped from the fuel pump to the engine, this hopefully catches most of the crap. Now these trucks are equipped with one. Nobody really ever changes them, but I am gonna change it because of the situation with the truck since it sat for so long. Yeah, so there's 2 little lines that go into here. One goes towards the engine and then one goes back towards the tank. You have to spin them opposite each other, and you also have to fit under the truck. So engine goblin has been deployed. So we'll kind of show you what it looks like now. Okay, so the fuel filter will have an arrow on it, which we should have shown you on the new one, but she's already putting it in, so it'll have an arrow. The direction is towards engine, so it's the flow of the gas. It goes from tank to engine, so the arrow should be pointing along that same path. So make sure you get that lined up when you put it back in there. And this one here doesn't have any markings or anything on it, so I hesitate to say that's an original, but I hope to God it's not. It also weighs like 38 pounds. and smells like turpentine. So that's how you know it's good. We're just gonna go ahead and just right into the bed with that. She's finishing putting that on now, and when it's done, you gotta prime the key a whole bunch before it'll start, and then we'll check for leaks, and that'll be kind of the end of this project. And the last one is getting it to shift out of park without having to do the battery escapades, so we'll show you that too. All right, so the next step after you've got it all bolted up is you're gonna turn the key on a whole bunch of times, and then somebody's gonna tell you if it's like pouring gas out, because like that's bad. See anything?
No. Sweet.
Well, it's running and not leaking fuel everywhere, so I guess that means it's on there correctly. Now the last and most important thing that we have to change today, well, debatably more important, but we couldn't shift it out of park. So in order to fix that, we're gonna replace the brake switch that she's holding there.
This little doohickey?
Apparently those are the devil to replace. You wanna fill in the class?
I don't remember entirely. I haven't done it in a while, but I have. What did I do it on? It was another Silverado.
It was a 94, so 1 year or earlier.
Yeah, I just remembered it being a pain in the because, you know, I like the modern brakes. It's just a button, you know? That's pretty easy. We got this bullshit.
Yep, so we're gonna move shade so that we're not, you know, sweating to death under the cab, and we're gonna let her show you how to replace one of these brake switches. Let's get started.
Okay, I remember why these were a pain in the ass. There's this clip. It sits in there, something like that. I'm pretty sure the connector comes in from up top. And this sits on, I imagine, the thingy that holds the brake pedal on. Something like that. But this part, you slide this onto a pin, and it's got this clip that goes on it. And that clip is a pain in the ass to remove. So I'm gonna spend the next 40 minutes just doing that. And then 5 seconds putting the new one on, and then another 40 minutes putting the clip back. So, some fun. Stupid. Yeah, look at this.
Better.
So this slides on a pin, this holds it in place. And you gotta pry this open with little to no room and push it up at the same time and then not lose it and or get yourself in the eye. I didn't either of those things, so now the easy part's about to happen.
And you have to pick up as well. Pushing it all the way back, it's not releasing. You have to push more on it. So no matter how hard I pushed on the brakes, I can only push this pin back so far to push it in, and it just wasn't releasing to let us get out of park. So we're pretty confident that this is the problem, and we're going to be replacing it now. Got to put the demon clip back on. Once you get that, once you get that back on, you'll be good to go. Now it does ride on a metal shaft right here. I'll have to show you a diagram of one, like from an under dash shot, because otherwise, you're just gonna have to look under your dash and be mad at this thing for a while. But once you fight for 45 more minutes with the clip and you get it retainolated, hopefully it'll shift with us just pushing the brake instead of having to disconnect the battery and shift. So that's where we're at. Lots of owing. All right, so now that we've got it all handled and done, we've got the brake switch reinstalled, which was all kinds of fun. Show them what we can do now. Stick the key in and
it only cost me my wrist, but you know.
You don't need that, and you can shift like normal. So if your truck is stuck in park and you can't get it out, one of the things to try is disconnect the battery and see if it'll shift then, because there are other things it could be, like it could be stuck down there by the Prindle switch on the side of the transmission. But if you disconnect the battery and it shifts fine, and you reconnect the battery, it won't shift at all. It's an electrical component, and the only one on these old trucks is going to be that one. I don't think there's anything else it could be. So check that brake switch for sure. So yeah, hopefully this helps you out a little bit if you're restoring your truck. We've made some great progress today. I think it runs a whole lot better, and we've got a mirror, and we've got the ability to take it out of the park. So that's a whole lot of progress. I'm really happy about it. All right, well, if you like it, keep liking and subscribing these videos. This is part 3 of the Chevrolet K1500 restoration. There will be a part 4, which I assume will fix the air conditioning, probably the dash eventually. And then
It's fine.
it's a little broken. But we'll fix the air conditioning, probably the parking brake release lever, and some other stuff, and that'll be part 4. So we'll see you next time on Grumpy Monkey Garage.